So you want to get into one of India's top IIMs right out of high school? Sounds pretty daunting, right? Well, the key is cracking the IPMAT exam, and today we're going to let you in on a secret, a single idea that could completely change how you tackle it.
What if I told you that everything you've heard about this exam, how it's impossibly hard, how you need to know everything, what if that's all just a big myth? What if there's a totally different path, a smarter way to play the game that most people just don't see?
All right, first things first. Why does everyone want to get into an IIM anyway? What's the big dream here?
Okay, so think of it this way. What the IITs are for engineering, the IIMs are for business and management. They're the absolute top of the food chain. Getting a degree from an IIM, well, that's your golden ticket. It opens doors to some seriously high-level jobs in big-shot companies. We're talking finance, marketing, you name it. It's basically a fast track to a leadership career.
And hey, let's talk about the payoff, because it's huge. We're talking about starting salaries of around 30 lakhs a year. Yeah, that's what's on the table. So yeah, the stakes are high, but man, the reward is massive.
Okay, so with that kind of money and career on the line, it makes sense why everyone thinks the IPMAT is this giant mountain you have to climb, right? But here's the thing. The reality, it's something totally different. Let's pull back the curtain on the exam's real secret.
This right here is the game changer. You've got to shift your whole mindset. See, the IPMAT isn't really a test of how much stuff you've memorized. It's a test of how you think, how you strategize when the clock is ticking. It's not about knowledge, folks. It's a game of strategy.
And if you don't believe me, just look at the actual data. The numbers don't lie. To get past the cutoff for the math multiple choice section, you only need to get, 7 or 8 questions right out of 30. And for the short answer part, it's even less, just 4 or 5 correct answers out of 15. The bar is way, way lower than people think. You don't have to be a genius who knows everything. You just have to be smart about it.
Which brings me to this super important point. An easy question and a super hard question, they're both worth the exact same thing, plus 4 marks. No difference. So tell me, why on earth would you spend 10 minutes fighting with a tough problem when you can grab the same 4 marks from an easy one in like a minute?
And that is the real secret. Winning this game isn't about being able to solve every single hard question they throw at you. It's about being sharp enough to scan the paper, spot the low-hanging fruit, the easy questions, and just rack up those points. It's all about question selection.
So this all begs a pretty big question, right? If it's all about strategy, why are so many students who go to these expensive coaching centers still failing? Let's dig into what's wrong with the way most people prepare.
Okay, so here's the typical coaching center playbook. You go to class, they teach you topic A, then topic B, then topic C, just marching through the syllabus. And every once in a while, they'll give you a mock test to, check your progress. Sounds pretty standard, doesn't it?
But here's the massive flaw. That whole approach is designed for an old-school exam where you just have to know a lot of stuff. It's completely wrong for a strategy game like the IPMAT. It teaches you information, sure, but it doesn't teach you the art of picking questions or how to handle that intense pressure when time is running out. And it totally drops the ball on preparing you for what comes next, the interview.
I mean, get this. A lot of these coaching centers will prep you for these really abstract, philosophical questions for your interview. But then you get to the IIM Indoor interview and what do they ask? They ask you about your high school subjects. They might ask you to explain Newton's second law. Or, hey, draw the graph for y equals x cubed. That disconnect between the prep and the reality, it can absolutely sink your chances.
All right, so if the traditional way is broken, what's the fix? What does a smarter way to prepare actually look like?
Well, a strategy-first method basically flips that old model completely upside down. Instead of learning first, you start with a mock test. And the goal isn't to get a great score, it's to figure out where you're weak. Then you zero in on your mistakes, you learn only the stuff you got wrong, and then you take another mock test. You just repeat that cycle over and over. It's active, it's targeted, it's efficient.
And that's really the difference between just coaching and true mentoring. Coaching is about dumping information on you. Mentoring is about building your strategy, your mindset. It's about helping you develop the right temperament for the exam, giving you feedback that's just for you, and teaching you how to win the game, not just memorize the rulebook.
And of course, this whole strategic approach has to carry over to the interview. You can't forget, the interview is a massive piece of the puzzle. It counts for a huge chunk of your final score. So smart prep means doing tons of mock interviews, like dozens of them, so that when you're in that high-pressure room, you're calm, you're confident, and you're ready.
Okay, so let's wrap this all up. If there's one single thing you take away from all this, what should it be?
It's this simple idea. Shift your focus. Stop thinking you need to study harder and just cram more and more information into your brain. Instead, start studying smarter. Put all your energy into building a better strategy. Honestly, your mindset is everything.
All right, so as you go off and start prepping, here are the key things to drill into your head. First, IPAT is a game. The goal is to pick the easiest questions. Second, those low cutoffs are a gift. They mean you don't have to know everything. Third, use mock tests as your main study tool, not just a final exam. And finally, always remember, a good strategy will beat brute force knowledge any day of the week.
So I'm going to leave you with one final question to really think about. As you sit down to study tonight or tomorrow, ask yourself this: am I just studying to learn more stuff? Or am I studying to build a strategy that will actually help me win?